In 2024, Red Bull isn't just an energy drink, it's a global powerhouse. With 11.5 billion cans sold, and a presence that stretches from racetracks to football fields, and from the skies to the digital world, Red Bull has built an empire that defies the ordinary. But behind the wings and the hype, there's a deeper story. Is Red Bull the ultimate marketing genius, or is there something more sinister lurking beneath? Welcome to the world of Red Bull, where the energy is boundless, but the stakes are higher than you think. Picture this. It's 1982, a sweltering summer night in Thailand. Austrian businessman Dietrich Mateschitz is jet-lagged, exhausted, and desperate for a pick-me-up. Enter Krating Daeng, a humble, obscure local concoction. But this isn't just any drink. It's a jolt of energy in a bottle. Most would down it and move on, but not Mateschitz. In that moment, something clicked. What if this little-known elixir could do more than just cure jet lag? What if it could revolutionize the way the world drinks, plays, and lives? From that spark of inspiration, he didn't just see a drink, he saw the birth of a new empire, a brand that would one day rule the energy drink market and beyond. And just like that, the global phenomenon known as Red Bull was born. But how did a simple sip in a foreign land turn into one of the most powerful brands on Earth? Buckle up, because this ride is just getting started. Imagine pitching a drink that nobody in the Western world had ever heard of. A drink that tasted nothing like the sodas dominating the shelves. Dietrich Mateschitz did just that, only to be met with smirks and outright rejection. Investors laughed him out of the room, labeling his idea as absurd. Why? Because there was no market for energy drinks. But Mateschitz wasn't interested in fitting in. He was hell-bent on creating something entirely new. Instead of backing down, he doubled down. Mateschitz poured $500,000 of his own money into his vision and partnered with Chaleo Uvidya, the mastermind behind Krating Daeng. Together, they weren't just launching a drink, they were preparing to unleash a cultural phenomenon. In 1987, Red Bull hit the shelves in Austria, and what followed wasn't just a product launch, it was a masterclass in marketing alchemy. This wasn't just about selling a drink, it was about selling a lifestyle, an experience. Red Bull didn't just enter the market, they invented it, and then they dominated it. Red Bull's first major breakthrough wasn't a flashy ad campaign or a celebrity endorsement. It was a ban. That's right, in a twist of fate that only fueled its rise. Red Bull was outlawed in Germany. But instead of being a setback, it was the spark that ignited a wildfire of demand. Suddenly, this mysterious drink wasn't just another beverage. It was forbidden fruit, a symbol of rebellion that young people couldn't resist. In 1988, while most brands struggled to gain traction, Red Bull was flying off the shelves in Austria. Over 1 million cans were sold that year alone, not because of taste or need, but because it became the ultimate badge of counterculture cool. The secret? A carefully crafted image that turned every sip into an act of defiance. Red Bull wasn't just a drink, it was a statement, a lifestyle. By turning prohibition into power, Red Bull transformed from an outsider to a symbol of everything young, wild, and free. It wasn't just about quenching thirst, it was about fueling a movement. Red Bull isn't just about making drinks, it's about strategic brilliance. They don't produce the drink themselves, that's outsourced. What they do is focus on marketing, brand management, and distribution. This allows them to maintain staggering profit margins. Mateschitz knew that to create a market, Red Bull had to become synonymous with energy, youth, and rebellion. So he targeted the club scene and universities. Red Bull didn't just appear in stores. It showed up at the parties, gyms, and beaches where the young and energetic gathered. University students became brand managers, hosting events and spreading the Red Bull name. The result? Red Bull became the go-to drink for those seeking an edge, whether mixing it with vodka or sipping it straight from the can. Let's talk numbers. Red Bull can make a can for about 10 cents. In 2024, that same can retails for around $2.50. Even their largest customers, like Walmart, pay around $1.50 per can, almost 15 times the production cost. This isn't just good business, it's a money machine. But Red Bull wasn't content with just being a drink. They wanted to own the energy and intensity that their brand represented. Sponsorships turned into ownerships. From Formula One to football teams, Red Bull wasn't just sponsoring events, they were running them. Red Bull understood that to truly dominate, they had to control the narrative. That's where Red Bull Media House comes in. They don't just sponsor extreme sports, they create the content, own the footage, and distribute it globally. This is story performing, not just storytelling. The epitome of Red Bull's story performing strategy? Felix Baumgartner's space jump in 2012. Red Bull spent $50 million on the project, but the event generated an estimated $6 billion media value. They didn't just market the event, they owned it. In 2024, Red Bull's empire is worth over $9 billion in revenue. But here's the twist. Around 95% of that still comes from selling energy drinks. Despite all their ventures, they're still heavily dependent on a single product. Is this diversification, or just brand extension with a high price tag? Red Bull spends nearly a third of its revenue on marketing, an aggressive strategy that keeps them at the top. But as health trends continue to shift, their reliance on a product that's been linked to obesity, insomnia, and diabetes could be a ticking time bomb. So, what's next for Red Bull? As they continue to invest in sports teams, media, and extreme events, they're betting big on maintaining their brand dominance. But with 95% of their revenue still tied to energy drinks, their empire could be more fragile than it appears. Their football teams offer a glimpse into potential success. By owning multiple clubs, they've created a talent pipeline that stretches from Brazil to Austria, and ultimately to the Champions League with RB Leipzig. The success of their New York franchise in the MLS is a testament to their strategic vision, turning a $25 million investment into a $290 million asset. But is this enough to secure their future? Red Bull's other ventures, like their media productions and extreme sports events, are still mostly brand investments. They haven't yet become significant profit centers. The question remains, will they ever be? In 2024, Red Bull isn't just an energy drink, it's a lifestyle, a symbol, and a global empire. But with the world changing, can Red Bull adapt? Will their aggressive marketing and brand extensions continue to pay off? Or is the empire built on shaky ground? One thing's for sure, Red Bull will keep pushing boundaries, but whether they'll stay on top is a story still unfolding.